Hello, hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday night stamp therapy. I'm so excited you're joining me tonight. It's an exciting, busy day. I'm sure you already know that Stampin' Up! Is having a huge stamp set sale. 15% off 135 different stamp sets from the annual catalog. It is so exciting. Have you put an order in today and ordered your favorites? In the video description, I have a link to this flyer that has pictures of all of the stamp sets that are on sale. I created this flyer special to show with images all the stamp sets because I know the other list is kind of hard to read. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out in the video description right now. You can download this flyer. And tonight I really had a hard time trying to figure out which stamps I wanted to showcase because there are literally 135 to choose from. So I picked out 4 that I'm going to share with you tonight, but there's just so many good ones. So leave a comment and let me know what your favorite one is. What did you order? I got my order in. I did notice though that some of the stamp sets have already temporarily sold out and are no longer available. So if you haven't placed your order yet, don't wait. Maybe after the video, or maybe you can multitask, but don't wait until the last minute to get your order in. This sale is only today. It ends at 11:59 Mountain Time, 11:59 p.m. So you don't want to miss out on this awesome sale. 15% off. If you're a demonstrator, you get your regular 20 or 25% discount on top of the sale price. So heck yeah. Double dipping. Speaking of double dipping, there are some weekly deals that just started today too. Every Thursday in September, Stampin' Up! Is highlighting some overstock items and offering a special discount on them. And one of those items this week is the perfectly penned designer paper. So while you're shopping for the stamp set sale, make sure that you check out the weekly deals section of the online store. And I'm going to use this perfectly penciled designer paper on every single one of the projects that we're going to make tonight. So hopefully by the end of the night, you will feel inspired and ready to use this beautiful black and white designer paper. It's a 12 by 12 paper, but I've cut it down to 6 by 6 to show you. So black and white designs that sort of look like penciled. I almost feel like a little charcoal kind of drawing. So we got a black and white side and then a white design side, and these really look penciled and kind of shaded. So beautiful. So you can color those or use the black and white designs. So this is the perfectly penciled designer paper. You're going to find that in the annual catalog, and it is featured as a weekly deal this week. So super awesome. But before we get to that, I want to share with you some of the stamp sets that I'm not going to feature today. Like I said, I really had a hard time trying to decide what I wanted to show you. And so I pulled out some extra samples and some stamp sets to show you. So I'm going to just run through those really quick, some bonus samples as everyone is getting situated. You may have tuned in today and saw my surprise lunchtime Facebook Live. I featured the Lovely You stamp set and created these 2 clean and simple cards. Really, really love the way these turned out. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link to it in the video description when we're all done. You can find it both on Facebook and YouTube. The colors I used here: Parakeet Party, Polished Pink, and Orchid Oasis. And I just love them. I'm like a clean and simple girl, and some of the cards we're doing tonight are pretty clean and simple. I really tried to focus just on the stamp sets and not on, a bunch of other stuff. So I think you're gonna like the cards. So Lovely You, beautiful choice. I love that it has greetings and images. It's a good one if you don't have that one yet. Okay, next up is the Simply Succulent. This one does have some coordinating dies, as you can see I've used on the cards, but the dies and the stamps are available separately. So if this is something you've been eyeing, you'll want to get the stamps while they're on sale and then get the dies later. Now, I have to tell you, if you're looking at a stamp set that currently is part of a bundle, then it's better to get the bundle. You save 10% on both the stamp set and the dies, which is a better value than getting 15% off just the stamp set. So if you've been trying to decide, which way to go on that, for the most part, if it's currently bundled, the better deal is to get the bundle. But some of these stamp sets are just beautiful on their own. I really love these Simply Succulents cards. These are actually part of a card class I did, I think 2 years ago. I'll try to find the link and put it in the video description as well for you in case you get that one. Another card class I did was the Nature's Harvest. Love the way this card turned out. This is a good standalone stamp set. It's got some dies that coordinated with it, but I think it works really well on its own as well. Yeah, I know, Jan, it's nasty, but it needs to have a sale on dies. Indeed. Oh, I feel like we did have a sale on punches and dies once. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for sure. All right, next up, this stamp set kind of reminds me of the Nature's Harvest. This is the Quiet Meadow stamp set, and you might remember me creating this card. I just love the way this one turned out. Pale Papaya and Calypso Coral are the colors, and I was casing another project, but substituted this stamp set, and I just love the way it turned out. So pretty. Little vellum in the background there and the vellum die cut. Quiet Meadow. All of the stamp sets I'm showing you right now are 15% off today. So if you've been trying to decide, if you've been looking and trying to decide what you want to get, here are some options. Shaded Summer is another good one because it has both sentiments and the images in there. I love, love, love this layout. So good. Okay, another one I think is really good, really versatile, especially for new stampers, is Artistically Inked because it has really great basic sentiments and some images. So you can do a really clean and simple card like this one, or you can die cut and add some other embellishments and designer paper like I did on this card. So lots of different options with the Artistically Inked. A really beautiful stamp set and a great one, like I said, for new stampers. Another good one for new stampers is Simply Fabulous. I adore these cards. You guys might remember I did these in the spring, and I did 3 different cards featuring the new in colors. We've got Orchid Oasis, Sweet Sorbet, Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide, and Parakeet Party. Do you guys have this stamp set? You might. I think I offered it as an add-on when I did the product share, so you might have this one already. It's a good one if you don't have it, and it doesn't have coordinating dies, so this is a nice standalone stamp set. Simply Fabulous, a new one in this annual catalog. Recently, I did a class over the summer with the Wildlife Wonder stamp set, and I'll link to that in the video description as well so you can see how to make these cards. But this is a standalone stamp set and another good one to get today when it's 15% off. This is a little pocket card. So it's got a little pocket. And then I just love these images, the distinctive images, such the detail on there. It's so beautiful, right? Okay, so I'll put the link in the video description, but if you don't have Wildlife Wonder, this is a really good one for masculine cards, and it's got a lot of great sentiments in it as well. Okay, lastly, I don't actually have this stamp set, but it is one that's on sale, and it's one that doesn't have dies. Let me look up the name of it. These are both swap cards, so I'm going to tell you who made them. Let me look up the stamp set name. It's got the koala and the panda. It's kind of a nice one. It's brand new. There it is. Wild and Sweet. So there's a raccoon and a koala and the panda. And the images are just beautiful, aren't they? This first card is from Margot Richardson. And this next one is from Janice Waitman. Really great stamp set. Are you guys eyeing that one? So leave a comment. Let me know. Have you done some shopping? Did you get any stamp sets today? Let me know which one you got. I would love to know your favorites. I forgot to do this last time, and so I'm afraid if I don't do it right now, I might forget. So before we get started stamping, I have some mail call to share with you. Oh my gosh, I am so blessed to receive Happy Meal from you guys. And I have to say, I was really impressed with how quickly some of you sent out cards. If you've been watching my videos, you know I got COVID a couple weeks ago, and I got so many get well soon cards in the mail, and it just made me smile and helped me to feel better and to feel your love and prayer. So thank you so much. I'm going to show you each of the cards really quick. I also have some duplicates from the Great Big Card Swap. And I have a really special project. I'm just going to show you a little bit of tonight. And I'm going to have to do in a whole nother video. Sharon Groves sent me the most amazing gift. Let's do the cards first, and then I'll show you a little sneak peek of Sharon's gift. So first card's from Kathy King. I love this Best Remedy card kit. There's a kit and you can make the card exactly like this. It is so stinking cute. You can get it in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop, but it's so perfect. It's got some get well sentiments in there. Ice cream is the best remedy for this, and I'm telling you, with my throat, ice cream is definitely definitely the best remedy. I've been having lots of popsicles and cold stuff like that, like off and on. I've been drinking the hot tea and then having a nice popsicle. It just depends, a little bit of both. Next up is a card from Yolanda Garza. Oh, Yolanda, your message inside, oh, it made my heart ache. I'm so sorry to worry you. I know with your brother, every time you hear about somebody having COVID, it just pulls on those heartstrings. And I just want you to know I'm doing great. Thank you so much for your prayers. Love this designer paper with the rustic harvest. So beautiful. And I definitely felt your healing vibes. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Next up, a card from Sean Kirkpatrick. This is the Oceanfront stamp set. Oh my gosh, I just love this. And I'm going to use it tonight. I feel like I haven't used it enough. It is one of my favorite stamp sets. Another one that's on sale tonight. We'll talk about it and I show you that one in a little bit. But thank you, Sean, for that awesome card. And then one from Judy Howard. I wish there was a little wizard that could make me feel better. Thank you, Judy, for thinking of me and for this fun card. It definitely made me smile. Next up, a card from Wendy Waldman. And this is that beautiful rainbow and sunshine designer paper that was available during celebration. So much fun. I'm so sad that bundle didn't carry over because it was really great for cheerful, bright cards just like this one. So thank you, Wendy, for thinking of me and sending a card. Oh, this is fun from Vicki Stuckymeyer. I love the little bookbinding fold here. And this is that lovely and lasting, no, that's the name of the stamp set, linen. Lovely Linen is the name of the designer paper. Really beautiful with these colors: Sweet Sorbet, Pale Papaya, Night of Navy. Just beautiful and perfectly simple, and I just love it. Thank you, Brittany. Next up, a card from Jill Steele. Jill, thank you so much. This is that beautiful pansy card and the little lattice in the background. It's just so beautiful. I love the arrangement of the flowers and the lattice in the background, and I think it's so much fun. This is a designer paper card base, so the whole card base is designer paper with a little piece of white on the inside to write a message. Oh, this is so sweet. A little two-parter here. This one, oh, did I get a name? I wrote it on the envelope. There it is. Ann Birch sent me this beautiful card using the Wonderful World. I love this technique where you stamp and then you use the embossing folder and it just kind of adds some texture. It almost looks quilted. This is a retired folder called Tasteful Textile, one of my favorite. So versatile. And then look at this cute little designer paper pouch. This is the diaper fold, or an origami cup fold. And it's really easy using a 6x6. I actually have a video, I think, in a project that I made like this. So I'll try to remember to put that link in the video description of this one. Isn't this just the sweetest with a little tea bag? Oh my gosh, Anne, thank you so much for this wonderful gift and card. It really brightened my day. You're the best. Okay, more cards. You guys, I feel so blessed to get so much Happy Mail. And my wish and hope is that you have the privilege to not only receive Happy Mail yourself, but also to send it and bless others, because I know how amazing this feels to get your cards. And I know what a difference your cards make. Leave a comment and let me know Who was the last person that you sent a card to? What kind of card did you send out? Who's the last person that you sent a card to? This one is from Vicki Stuckemeyer, and this is that double flap card that I shared in my Ringed with Nature class recently. I just love this little. I think I had mine going the other way, but I love this cute little flap showing off the designer paper from the Rings of Love. Vicki, thank you so much. 2 cards in one batch from Vicki. I feel so spoiled. This one has been sitting on my counter and I forgot to share it. It's from Chris Anderson and it is a birthday card with the hippos. Oh my gosh. This actually is a card I shared in my Rainbow of Happiness class. And I love how Chris made a version with the hippos. Just the cutest. I love all the little embellishments and the lipstick. So cute, Chris. Thank you so much for that pop-up diorama card. A card from Winnie Ankerbrandt. This is one of our kits. I think it's called No Matter the Weather. And you can find it in the online store at juliedavison.com/shop under Stampin' Up Kits collection. I love that. So the kit, this one too, both of those are kits that you can get in the store. Next up is a card from Debbie Lindauer. I think these are now the duplicates that I received during the Great Big Card Swap. And so if you haven't seen that video, over 70 cards I shared with a autumn theme. Autumn was our theme. That was on Tuesday. That was this week, wasn't it? It's a blur. I think today's Thursday. Yes, it was just 2 days ago that we did the Great Big Card Swap. So these are duplicates that I received. Thank you so much to everybody who sent doubles. It's always such a treat to get to keep your card. This one's from Debbie Lindauer. This one is Joe Williams with the flat fold. Oh, Tony Shaw sent me an extra of this one. How fun is that? And then we've got one here from Joanne Prosser with the Plentiful Plants. The carved wood technique from Mesa Sama. That was so cool. This is a tutorial from Gina K. I attempted it during the Tuesday night video and it wasn't good. I gotta watch Gina's video and check it out and see how she did that. Next up, Apple Harvest. This one's really pretty. Is this Debbie's? Yeah, it's so thick. So many layers. Debbie Popish sent this one. So beautiful with this amazing coloring job. And oh, look at the colors on this one from Linda Vanderspool. That delicate Dahlia? No, it was something Dahlia. It was in the January through June mini catalog. And I just love the colors. It looks like mums. Oh, and this one from Melissa Perry. I just love it. This is an embossing folder technique where you're doing the stamping on the embossing folder before you send it through. Little snow front stamping there, and I just love the inside. Oh my gosh, so great. Guys, I just feel so blessed. Look at that. Look at that. So blessed by all of your cards. It is... I'm getting this other gift. It is just so special. Well, I received a package in the mail this week, and that's kind of unusual because usually my P.O. box is small and I just get all your cards, but I had a special key to go to the package locker, and that's where I received this package from Sharon Groves, who spent 3 months creating this amazing portfolio of cards. I am just so overwhelmed and humbled to be the recipient of such an amazing project. Sharon, I know I already sent you an email, but thank you so much. Like, I am still just moved to tears every time I open it and look through it and read all your little notes. It is amazing. So look at the front. Oh, look at that. It's a wiper card, a case for Julie. I promise I'll do another video where we really dive in. I'm just going to show you a little bit inside this. Copy and selectively edit. You guys know I love to case. And so Sharon said she's been inspired over the years and has spent time creating this special project where she cased many different cards that I've made that she found on my blog and in my videos. And so she made different cards that she then put into this portfolio to share with me. And each one has, oh, of course, the one that maybe fell off. Each one has a date on the back. I think that's the date of the stamp set that she used. And it is just so incredible because I remember some of these cards. Like I remember, you know, the layouts and the designer paper, and look at all these pockets and, oh, look at these little things. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this made me laugh. Inside it says, the Queen of Tear Parts. Oh my gosh. This is just so incredible. Sharon, I hope you're watching right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, this is just, oh, every little bit that I open is just more amazing on top of amazing. So like I said, I'll definitely do a little in-depth look at this. Even inside the pockets here, there are envelopes created out of catalog pages. Wow. 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 I'm speechless. I don't even know how to put into words, how amazing this is. I feel like there's another, oh yeah. Oh, I mean, like, oh wow. So Sharon, you are amazing. Thank you so much for blessing me with this amazing project. Look at this detail on this side. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I know, right? Oh, just so amazing. Sharon, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to definitely take a closer look, and I'll have to talk to Sharon. Maybe we can work out and and do something together. So more to come on this, but I just had to give you a little sneak peek and show you this amazing gift. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I've been a demonstrator for 20 years, and I've been blogging for, I'm going to get something in here. I've been blogging for, let's see, it'll be 14 years. I've been blogging for 14 years and doing videos for like 8 or 9 years. And I started it just as a way to share. I just love to share. And I never ever really expected that it would snowball and to turn into something that reaches so many people, and so I'm just so humbled that that you guys are here and watching, and that I inspire you to create and put out beautiful things into the world and to make other people feel special and amazing the way I feel right now. So all right, I'm going to start crying. Let's make some cards tonight. Oh, we are using, I introduced it earlier, but you might have been joining late. We're going to use this perfectly penned designer paper on 3 different projects tonight. This is a 12 by 12 designer paper from the annual catalog, and it is a new weekly deal that just came up today. So Stampin' Up! Is doing these weekly deals in September, and there are, I don't know, 10 to 12 different things that are, I don't know, the discounts are kind of ranging from 10% to 20%. The designer paper is, I'm not sure. I can't read that. It's really small. It looks like it's several dollars off. I think it's normally $12 and it's on sale for $9. If I'm reading that. Anyway, designer paper, vellum, some ribbons, some other things that are on sale. So these are really great add-on things. So if you're shopping for the 24-hour stamp sale, check out the weekly deals. So I'm using the perfectly penciled paper on our projects, and I chose some of my favorite stamp sets that are on sale to feature with the perfectly perfectly penciled designer paper, because the paper is really versatile. It doesn't necessarily like go with, you know, any stamp set in particular. And so I wanted to show you how you can use it with so many different stamp sets. The black and white designer paper is also really versatile and can be used with different colors. I'm seeing some of your comments come through, and I know if I read them, I'm going to start crying all over again. So I want to say thank you for your kind comments, and I will respond to each of you after the Facebook Live. Okay, so we're using Party Puffins for this card. This is such a cute one. I know it's not a new one, but it is a really cute little critter set. It is a standalone one. It doesn't have dies, and so this is a good choice for your stamp sale purchase. We're using a card base that is Mango Melody, and I've got my measurements down for you. I was really good tonight. So we're gonna have 3 pieces of the perfectly penciled designer paper, and we're just gonna, I know some of you don't like to go crooked and crazy, but we're going to just sort of arrange it so that they are kind of crooked and overlapping like that. I'm suddenly realizing I forgot to put lotion on my hands and trim my nails. Oh my goodness. That's how I roll though. Just all natural. The little pieces for the greeting are 7/8 inch by 1 1/4, and you only need 1, but I cut 2 just in case I messed up, because I'm like that. So those are the measurements, and I'll put them in the video description when we're all done in case you want to copy this card. I'm using a scrap of white paper, and I'm going to stamp the Party Puffin in the Memento black ink. This is a rubber stamp, so you could use, if you wanted to, the Stays On ink, but the Memento ink is just easier to clean, so I tend to use it for most of my stamping. I'm using the regular markers to color because this is a really tiny spot that we're coloring, and I don't think I have a Mango Melody Stampin' Blend. So you could use stamping blends here if you wanted to, but I chose to use just the regular markers. Plus, I like the really fine tip. Did you know we had regular markers? I don't use them very often. These are water-based markers, and you can use them for watercoloring techniques. You can also use them to color right on your rubber stamps and make different color sentiments or different colors on your images. And so I'm next going to take the decorative circle punch. This is my new favorite because I'm missing all my circle punches. I'm going to punch it out so that the puffin is on the right side. We're going to leave some space here for the sentiment. And that is so super easy. I love punches. Next up, we'll do our sentiment. I guess we should have done that while we had our ink open. You're the best. I like this one because it covers lots of different occasions, right? It could be for a birthday, and a lot of the other stamps in here are for the birthday, right? We got the party hat and the cake and the candles. But I think you're the best really, you know, can work for anything, right? So if you just want to say thank you, like to Sharon or all of you who sent me awesome cards, then I would send a You're the Best card. So we're going to layer it. I told you we're going to do some clean and simple cards tonight, but I think you're really going to like them. So let's start by gluing the designer paper down onto the card base. And I've got the predominantly white pattern in the middle, so I'm going to start with the other ones on the outside. And then I'm going to do the white, predominantly white pattern in the middle. And I'm just, like I said, I really want these to kind of be overlappy and, you know, not perfect. I kind of like that. Next, we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to put the circles on. And I'm really feeling like it could use a little ribbon or something, right? What kind of ribbon do I have? let me check really quick. This is Pale Papaya, and I don't know if that's going to quite work for me. The other one I found is one that's on sale this week. It is the Silver Metallic Edge Cotton Ribbon. I don't really think that goes. It's more of a vanilla. And this is kind of light. It's not really what I want, but let's maybe color on it with a marker. Oh, I really wish I had the mango Stampin' Blend. Do I have it? No. Is there a mango Stampin' Blend? I don't know. Well, should we try with the regular marker? So the thing about using a Stampin' Blend marker is that it would dry faster. But let's give this a try. That kind of soaked through really nice. I like the way this is looking. It helps that the ribbon is already kind of, you know, a pale orangey color. So if it doesn't, you know, if I miss a spot or something, it's not quite as obvious and boldly bright. Okay, this is a water-based dye marker though. So like it really should have time to dry. But I'm gonna just put it on my card. I'm not very patient. If I had my heat tool handy, I would use the heat tool and I would dry that a little bit, but it's not out, it's put away. So I'm just going to carefully put it on my card and then let it dry on the card. Don't do what I'm doing. I feel like sometimes I have to say that. Don't try this at home. Don't be stupid. Okay, so that's why I don't have a Mango Melody blend, because there isn't one. Tony, thank you for checking on that. And Betty, this is Mango Melody is the color. Mango Melody. And then the orangey pink is Calypso Coral. All right, that's my trick. I love the tear and tape for that. Hopefully I don't get ink on my puffin. And this is going to go over here. I think that little ribbon is just what it needed. Just a little something. You're the best. Oh, so cute. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so Party Puffins and perfectly penciled paper. If you don't have this one yet, you can get it tonight. Thursday, September 15th, 2022. 50% off. Not 50, 15% off. Just for a few more hours. All right, are you ready for the next card? We are going to use some Stampin' Blends on this card. Let's move our puffin. See you later, puffin. We're going to use some more perfectly penciled designer paper, along with another one of my favorite stamp sets. Before I do that, here is a swap card. This one is from, Dawn Burgett from Michigan. She did this one for a swap I participated in. I think this was the Utah retreat that I went to. So this is the paper I'm using, the perfectly penciled. These are 1 by 3 inch pieces of designer paper, and Dawn has 6 of them across the card, kind of overlapping and cattywampus. Okay, Inspired Thoughts is the stamp set that I'm featuring on this card. This is a really great stamp set. It's got a lot of great sentiments, and I think it's kind of under the radar. There's a few really great greeting stamp sets in the 24-hour stamp sale. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, make sure especially to look for these greeting sets. We've got thanks so much, congratulations, thinking of you on your special day, with heartfelt sympathy, you make a difference every day, sending healing thoughts your way, even at Christmas. There's a Christmas in there too. So, and hello. So lots of bases covered with the inspired thoughts. So we're going to use that one. We're using thinking of you on your special day because it just covers so many occasions, right? It could be for Robin's mom's 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Robin's mom. That is an incredible milestone. You can send this card for a birthday. You can send it for any occasion, right? A retirement, graduation, I don't know, what else do you have a special day for? So many occasions, right? That's not quite centered. Let's try it again. Of course, the one I didn't cut 2 pieces for. This one, that's a little better. We're going to go with that side. All right, so for this one, I've got perfectly penciled designer paper pieces that are 2.5 by 5 inches, and we're going to use this side with the flowers, and then another little strip that is 3/4 by 3.5, and the green piece is the bottom measurement, 1 by 2.5 inches. And for this one, I wanted to showcase how you can color on the designer paper to customize it however you'd like. And so I have a sample done where I colored all of it, but I thought it might be kind of fun to play around with coloring just one of the flowers and kind of spotlight. So for this demonstration, I'm going to just do one, and then I will show you the other one, and you can tell me which way you like it better. So I'm kind of playing around to see which, how I want the paper to spotlight just one flower. And I think I'm going to spotlight this flower. And I got out my Stampin' Blends for this. So light and dark Calypso Coral, light and dark Old Olive, and a little bit of Daffodil Delight for the center. What I really love about this designer paper is that it has some shading already on the paper. So the shading is gray, but it's amazing how when you start adding color, it looks shaded in that color. And so I felt like I didn't really have to work hard to to do a lot of shading with the Stampin' Blends. I felt really that it was kind of easy, but I did add just a little of the darker color, and I just sort of went back over those lines that already had the shading. So it sort of helped me to know where to go to add that color. Look at the depth on that. Isn't that just incredible? I'm doing the leaves and the base of the flower with the light Old Olive, and again you see the same shading sort of built in on this designer paper, which I think is just incredible. You guys know I don't love to color. So coloring just a little bit like this and spotlighting one image is one way to add some color and customize your card without feeling like you have to color the whole thing. So I'm really sort of loving just the one. I'm going to add an angle on this designer paper with the scissors, just kind of cutting down. And I also wanted to add a little bit of linen thread. So let me grab that. And we're going to do some loops behind the linen thread. Earlier today, I was talking about, and I don't know if I ever really mentioned this before, but a lot of times when I'm assembling my cards, I assemble them flat, and then I will fold them when they're done. And I find it's easier to get things straight and to line things up when it's flat. I do score my cardstock ahead of time. And so that score line is what I'm using to make sure that I'm keeping it within the boundaries of the card front. Doing some loopy loops. And when I made this card earlier today, I struggled and I had to do my loops like 5 times. So hopefully these will cooperate tonight. I'm just too anal. I know that's my problem. I'm too particular and I want them to be just so. But I like this technique because it lays flat and it's not too bulky. So I don't often do like a full bow on my card because it is a little bulky for sending in the mail. But it's nice to add a little bit of trim, a little bit of ribbon. And so I find other ways to do that that aren't quite as bulky. Okay, first thing we're going to, well, let me go ahead and just put the dimensionals on the back. We're going to glue down the paper and both papers. Okay, so this is going to go toward the right side, and I'm just doing some even spacing from the sides and the top and bottom. Right, so just kind of evenly spacing that there on the right side. And so there is more room, you can see there is more room on this side. Again, the designer paper is 2.5 inches wide by 5, and I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the cardstock here. Okay, next we're going to add our sentiment. Okay, oh, that's not where I wanted it. And I'm going to come over the edge just a little bit, over the edge of the designer paper. Okay, so here is my sample with only one flower colored, and here's the sample with all the flowers colored. So leave a comment and tell me, do you prefer the spotlight flower or do you like the whole paper colored? I'm really not sure which one I like. My original intent was to leave the whole paper black and white and just kind of have the sentiment be a pop of color. But then I started coloring and I ended up coloring them all, and then I had to cover the whole thing. So I'm not sure, this or that. Leave a comment and let me know. And this one, I think I was actually inspired by the catalog. I say that with a question, like I wasn't sure. I was looking through samples today to highlight the different stamp sets that are on sale on Facebook. And so I came across a card that used this paper, and it inspired my card, although I didn't make my card the same at all. That happens to me a lot. When I case the catalog, I make some changes and make it my own. I'm flipping through it, I'm trying to find it, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to. Because there are literally just hundreds. Just hundreds and hundreds of samples in here, and it could really be anywhere. I was looking at images online, and so I don't even remember what stamp set it was near. Flippity flip. I am flipping through the 2022 to 2023 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. You're seeing a little bit there. Hey, I found my sample. Doot, 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 doot. It was this sample right here on page 76 that inspired me. And so you can kind of see like a little bit of the same layout, but the designer paper here is more square, and they did white on white, and they didn't do any coloring at all. And so the sentiment really is sort of the pop of color. But that was my inspiration, and I really wanted to highlight that perfectly penciled designer paper. All right, that was card number 2. We have one more to go. Again, using some perfectly penciled designer paper. And this one, we're using 2 different stamp sets. I have to reach down and get, I've got everything in a bucket because there's a lot of stamps. Let me try to, I'm trying to stay out of camera range so I don't cause the camera to focus funny. Okay, so let me start with the measurements and then we'll do our stamping. Okay, so we have a card base that is Coastal Cabana. And then a piece of white cardstock that is 3.5 by 4 1/4. And designer paper that is 2 inches by 5 inches. And this is that perfectly penciled designer paper. Okay, and then some scrap for our sentiment. So let's start with our stamping. And I'm going to bring in, I don't think I need it, but just in case, I'm going to bring in my small grid paper, which I love to stamp on because it doesn't take up the whole desk. And I can bring it in on my messy desk and carve out a little corner for it. The stamps that we're using today are Oceanfront and Paradise Palms. Maria sent me an order for both of these stamp sets, and so she inspired me today, and I thought, hey, I'm going to get those out and make a card. They're a really perfect combination. And I think you're really going to like the card that I make today. So we got some brush stroke images that you can combine to create a scene, which is what we're going to do. So let's start with some of these Oceanfront stamps. We are going to have one for the sky, one for the water, and one for the sand. And the colors that we're using are Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, and a little bit of crumb cake, and then some black as well. And you guys know I mentioned it recently. I kind of like my cards to all coordinate at the end of the night when I put them out on the table. So Calypso Coral, Mango Melody, and Coastal Cabana are the 3 colors that we featured and highlighted on the cards tonight. All right, we're going to start with the Mango Melody, and we're doing the biggest image here. This is going to be the sky. And so I'm going to ink the whole thing in Mango Melody. One of my very favorite things is watching the sunset and taking a picture of sunsets. And so this card is going to be a little sunset image. So we're going to use a sponge dauber with the Calypso Coral ink, and we're going to add some of the Calypso Coral ink to the bottom of the Mango Melody. So I'm just trying to add a little bit, you know, when the sun sets, you sort of get those layers of colors that are just gorgeous, just so beautiful. So I'm going to have the Mango Melody on the top, and then we're going to add some of that Calypso Coral. And I was struggling with the sun. I want to add the sun. This is from the Paradise Palms, but the sun is a total circle, and when it sets, it doesn't go, like, you don't see the full circle. And so I was doing some masking. It wasn't working really well, so I decided I'm just going to stamp the sun directly onto the background stamp, and then when I stamp, it'll already kind of be on the sunset. I think I had a little halo, so I'm just going to sponge that out. Okay, so we've got our sun. I'm going to add this toward the top. Oh, yes. I love that. Next up, we're going to add the water, and the water is going to be Coastal Cabana. And you could do some sponging on here too. The stamps are kind of designed with the distinctive, you know, imagery to have, like, there's already some built-in, like, shading. So some spots that are darker and some spots that are lighter. So you don't necessarily need to sponge on, you know, the extra color that I did, but it does kind of help to build that sunset color. All right, next up, we're going to add some sand with the crumb cake. And I love these shapes because I feel like you can really do some fun things and use them in different ways and build them up in different ways. So I'm going to kind of go that way for the sand. And then we're going to add some palm trees. And you know, a lot of times at sunset, things in the foreground are dark. And so I decided to go with black for our palm trees. So I got two tree trunks and then 2 palm. And when I did this earlier, I started with the maybe we'll still start with the tops. I think it was good to kind of space things out. So I'm gonna start with the tops. Oh, I love it. This is not a photopolymer stamp set, so it is a little tricky to line up. So I'm just going to kind of do my best. Hey, that was pretty good. And then our second stem, not stem, our second trunk has a bit of like a curve to it. Oh, hey, I did really good. That makes me happy. Okay, and then there is our finished scene. Isn't that so beautiful? I just love this Oceanfront set. I feel like you can just really make some beautiful beautiful images, beautiful cards with it, no matter how you layer that together. Our sentiment comes from the Paradise Palms, which is this one. And so the one I chose was, hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. So we're going to do that on the cardstock, the crumb cake, and the words are really kind of light. And so I'm just trying to get the right pressure. I think that's good. And I'm using the Label Me Fancy punch. This is a nice size label punch. Not too big, not too small. And so I'm just going to center that right in the middle and punch it out. And our card is coming together. We're going to add the designer paper onto the card, and then we're going to add some of the linen thread, and we'll wrap around and make a bow onto the, I was going to say designer paper. It's not designer paper, but it does look like it. It's so gorgeous. I'm just going to do it around our focal image. Now, this was the first card that I designed with the perfectly penciled designer paper tonight, and I just thought this pattern was so like tiki and beachy, and I loved the black because it kind of went with the black trees. So I was really kind of happy with the way this one turned out. All right, I'm messing myself up here. And I love that the sun is like you can see it, but it's not like really bright and obvious. I think if you stamped it afterwards, like after you did the sky, it would be a little darker. And so if you wanted a darker sun, you could just mask, you know, the bottom of the stamp so that you don't get a full circle, you know what I mean? So you can't see the bottom of the sun in the water. The beach is my happy place, and my favorite beach is Lake Michigan up in St. Joseph, and I posted some pictures recently of sunsets. So this stamp set, the Oceanfront, really reminds me of that, except we don't have palm trees in Michigan. So this could be a Michigan sunset. If you stamped something besides palm trees, maybe some dune grass, which is actually part of the Oceanfront set. I think if you did some black dune grass, then that could be a Michigan Lake Michigan sunset. All right, so I feel like whenever I'm doing this in front of people, it never quite cooperates. Just going to kind of fuss with that a little bit, trim the ends. Kind of trim them even. Okay, and then I am going to put this at an angle. If it bothers you when you make your card, you can keep it straight. It's no worries. I won't be offended. And we're going to add, I want to do the Stampin' Dimensionals on the top and bottom. I'm sort of leaving some room for where the twine is so that the dimensionals kind of don't fall on top of it. I covered up our sand so much. Come on. Oops, wrong side. Maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, and then this was on with Stampin' Dimensionals. and just a slight angle, not a big angle, just a little angle. There's honestly not room for a big angle. Okay, so I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I'm gonna finish the card, but I want to know really quick, how many of you already have the perfectly penciled designer paper? Tonight's cards all used the perfectly penciled designer paper, and I hope that I've shown you how versatile this paper can be with so many different stamp sets. And maybe you already have a similar black and white designer paper, and so if you do, that's awesome. I hope I've inspired you to use it. But if you don't already have the perfectly penciled designer paper, this really is a great versatile paper with different patterns. So let me bring out all our cards and show you again. This was the last one we did using the Oceanfront stamp set. Actually, let me show you those stamp sets again. Okay, so the Oceanfront stamp set and the Paradise Palms. Oh, I know, I love it. I'm going to show you the other ones, and you got to tell me which of these cards is your favorite of the night. I know that is mean of me to make you choose. Which one did you guys like? We're going to do the spotlighted one. That's the one I shared tonight. Which one was your favorite? Which of these cards do you think that you will make at home? Will you, maybe all of them? Are you inspired to try any of these layouts or techniques that I shared with you tonight? Leave a comment and let me know. I always love to hear from you and hearing from you to see which one of these cards you enjoy, because it helps me figure out what kind of cards and things to share in the future. Oh my goodness, you guys, if you haven't gotten your order in today, make sure to go over to my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. You can use that host code, which is in the video description, and get some stamp sets for 15% off. There's only a few more hours to do this. All of the stamp sets that I showed you tonight are on sale. That perfectly penciled designer paper, that's going to be on sale for a week. It's one of the weekly deals. So if you already ordered today, you can order that next time. The vellum is really cool too. The lovely layers, vellum, some ribbon, and other fun things. So check out the weekly deals. Check out the stamp sale. Head over to my online store, juliedavison.com/shop, and get all your favorites. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It always makes me so happy to share with you and to know that you are inspired by the projects that I'm sharing. Leave a comment if you haven't already. Say hello. Let me know your favorite project. Please give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube. Either way, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook so you don't miss out on future paper crafting videos. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.